Okay, students, good evening. So now we'll start. Yes, ma. Students who are in the online, am I audible? Please confirm it once. Yes, ma. Good evening. Okay. So now we will start the discussion now. So last class we started with, yes, Asif, good evening. Now let us move to the further discussion. So Institute announced a holiday for tomorrow because of Ramjan festival. Happy Ramjan to everybody. Advanced Ramjan. So Institute announced a holiday for everybody. Ram Krishna, good evening. So tomorrow is a holiday. Day after tomorrow we will continue. Right? Actually tomorrow I want to take, and tomorrow is a class holiday for on account of Ramjani. Institute announced a holiday for that. Right. So let us continue the discussion. I hope you are remembering yesterday's session, which I took it. Let me download that so that I will continue from that place. Okay. So let us see this. So next, coming to the discussion on that. I hope you are downloaded that. Networking on this. So this topic is that one which we discussed in the last session. Is the topic we discussed in the last session. Okay. So coming out of that. So now I'm going to show you that what we started with under downloads. This is what we completed in yesterday's class. So two types of programs, client side program, server side program. So last class we started with definition of client, definition of server, definition of DNS, definition of internet protocol address, IP address. Then the most important steps covered in the last session. Steps for developing server side program. And the next steps for developing client side program. And we had a discussion related to this part. Already we discussed in the last class. So client side program, server side program steps we completed. Now at the same time, we are going to start with to deal with the network programming. Yesterday, I just wrote some function names. Did you remember that? So today I will discuss those functions and we do the program on it. So let's start with, so what is that? Module name required for developing server side. Module name, I'm writing continuation of this. Module name required for developing which application? Maybe it is taken, I hope. Yeah. Module name required for developing networking applications. Networking applications. Well, so there I'll be taking module name required for developing networking applications. I'm going to discuss. So to develop any networking application, we require to take which module? And first, yesterday, socket module. Which module we took yesterday? Socket module. Socket module. Right? Ranjan, bind, that is called bind. Okay. So module required for developing networking application is The predefined module, I'm going to continue. The predefined module required for developing server-side application or client-side application. The module name required for developing client and server-side application, or module name required for developing networking application. Networking application. Networking application is socket. Is a socket. So, yes, that I shared it more. That I shared it. What are the functions are available that I'm explaining today? Yeah, that I explained, that I shared it. Today I'm going to discuss those functions one by one, because we need to know the purpose of those kind of things. So, you know, socket module contains the following functions. Socket module contains following functions. What are those following functions? I'm going to discuss one by one. After giving the documentation description, then we will go for it. Socket module contains the following functions. Contains the following functions. What are those following functions? I'm going to discuss. Socket module contains the following functions. What are those? That means they are containing, some of them are containing socket. The predefined module, Vaidik, correct. The predefined module required for developing server-side application and client-side application, that is networking application, is socket. What are the socket module contains? What are the functions contains? Now I'm going to discuss one by one. Yesterday was shared it already. Function names. I'm describing them. What is the purpose of each? So the first thing is, we will use it, socket. First thing is called socket. What we do in this? As a syntax, I will tell you first. As a syntax, I will tell you here. Variable name is equal to socket dot socket. Socket dot what? Socket. Socket is a module. Socket contains a module name called what? Socket is a module, contains a function called socket, which will take, see students, always you must take it, socket object we will create. Generally, the same socket object we will create at client side also. Socket object I am creating at the server side, same socket is available at client side also. Socket at the server side binds with your DNS as well as port number, and the socket at client side connected with what? Server side socket. That's why socket is going to be termed as a bidirectional communication entity between two parts. One is client side application, one more is server side application. In both the sides, what will be there? A socket object is available. It is, how you can imagine is, just like a charger is there for you. Charger is there, for example. A socket is nothing but what? You are keeping one plug to one socket and you are keeping another plug to the another destination. And between these two, some type of flow will be happening. In both the sides, there is a plugin is there. That both the side plugins are called what? Socket objects. So a socket object is one of the bidirectional communication entity between client and server side application. When I do the program now, it will be more clear and easier for you. So I'm going to give you what is this function will do. This function is used for creating an object of what? Socket. Creating an object of socket. This function is used for creating an object of what? Socket. Creating an object of socket. Well, this function is used for creating an object of socket. And I tell you one small point. This point you can explain after showing the first program today. An object of socket acts as bidirectional communication entity. Bidirectional communication entity. Between client and server side application. Client and what? Server side application. Between client and server side applications, these are existing. So what is the syntax? Syntax is nothing but here I am writing. So what is this variable name here? Here, variable name is an object of class. What is this now? Socket. Object of class what? Socket. Are you able to understand? So socket, I will show you that object creation and I will explain that. So first we need to create an object of socket. So what is an example here? What is an example? To write any server side program, you must create what? Socket dot socket. Socket dot socket. So here an object socket is created at server side. That object to be made as what side program? Which side program? This same object I will create at client side also. Same object I am creating at server side also. What is the difference between that? The object which you are creating at server side should bind with what? Should bind with what? One kind of DNS should be bind with what? Port number. That is the second one. Up to here, it will be a little confusion for you regarding the socket object. After half an hour or after 20 minutes, it will be more clear for you. But one thing try to understand, socket object at a server side bind with a particular mission and running at a certain port number. Socket at a client side is what? Connecting with the server side socket. Socket object is there in the client side also, but it won't run there. It will be connecting to whom? Server side. Simple, ma'am. Chief Minister and a citizen in the state. Chief Minister is also one human. He is one socket in the state. And all the people are connected to him. Another human beings also called what? One more socket. So like that, two sockets are there. One socket is available at where? Server side. One socket is available at where? Client side. Socket object at server side will do what? Binds with particular mission and running at certain port number. Socket at client side will do what? Connecting to the server side socket. That's what I am saying as a socket object is one of the bidirectional communication entity. So students in the online, did you understand that point? Did you understand that point which I am saying that? Simple, mom. Very, very simple. Okay. In the program also, it will be more easier for you. In the program also more easier for you. Right, mom. Come on to the next bind function. What is the syntax of this bind function? Once you create an object at the server side, definitely that object should run at certain port number and certain DNS. How do you do that? How do you do that? Socket object dot bind of. Yes, ma. So, no, ma, Ranjan, I will show you that. Don't worry. I will show you that. Okay. In the program, I will show you. You will say, sir, program writing in networking is dead easy, will say. First, let me complete this library. Bind function is taking that information of DNS and then port number in the form of a tuple. What I am saying there, DNS, and the next is called what? Port number you are taking in the form of a tuple. One more syntax I will write it. What is the syntax here? You see, or I say bind of IP address. Anything you can pass it. You know already that, right or not? IP address, comma, port number. I am saying that IP address, comma, port number. Socket object dot bind IP address, comma, port number. So bind function I am going to say. So this function is used for making server side program to run at a certain port number, making the server side program to run at certain, right? I am writing certain port number and certain port number and at a certain DNS. certain mission. Mission is nothing but what? DNS. That means you are making it to run, bind at certain place. That is nothing but every server side program must binds with what? Port number and DNS. So that is what I am passing, DNS and port number. First you need to pass this. Must run it certain mission. I will write this in the first one. Must run it certain mission and certain port number. This is done. And yesterday I told you what is a DNS, what is a port number. I gave the clarity in both the areas. If I come to an example, yes dot bind of, I'll pass it. What is that I'm passing here? Localhost, comma. Come on. I'm saying 8888. So I'm always requesting you pass the port number which is after because some inbuilt some type of port numbers are already there in the internet. So to come out of all those things by knowing or not knowing, if you pass it for example 63 or 67 or something else, there may be some sort of port numbers will be there which is already predefined. So if it is connected to internet, it will go to that place. So rather than that, I am recommending you to go for what? Port number as a 4-digit number you pass. So minimum you pass 5-digit number. This is my recommendation for you. So pass some number, pass your vehicle number or pass your some number you pass it. So I am passing something like this. You can also write the same thing as what you know, students, or yes dot bind. I am writing here of what is this now? 127.0.0.01, comma. What is this now? So I am passing your own. You pass your own number, whatever you like it. This is called port number. So because of this, what is happening? My server side program is fully ready to accept any request coming from the client side. Because of these two lines, socket object created. I made my socket object to run at a certain port number. This is known as what? What it comes under? Come on. It comes under server side program is ready. Because I made it to bind with certain mission and certain type of port number. This is comes under one type of important function. And one more thing is also there. Once you are binding with that, you must configure your server side program in such a way that to how many clients it is providing the responses. Are you able to understand? Yesterday I showed such a small example. You have a cabin, you have only 2 chairs, but there are 4 people are waiting outside. What is happening? You made your cabin to be configured in such a way that only 2 people can sit. So you are going to write it. Third function you are writing. What is the third function? Listen function. LISTEN. Listen function. What is the listen function? You just watch it. Listen function. Syntax you understand first. Syntax you try to understand. What is the syntax here? Socket object dot listen. LISTEN. I am saying somewhere, for example, 2. What this 2 indicates? This is one of the limitation of our network programming. You are saying that listen, but your internet, Gmail provides the services to how many people? Unlimited number of people you are getting the services. But here you are providing the networking environment of this Python. Even in Java also same. Even in .NET also same. That's why these are not using now. Right? So I'm writing here, you are making the server side without writing listen, it cannot provide the response to the clients. You have to write compulsory what? Listen. So I'm writing here, this function makes the server side program, this function I will use like this, I will write it. This function is used for making the server side, configuring the server side program. Used for configuring the server side program. Configuring the server side program. For configuring the server side program in such a way that in such a way that how many clients can communicate. I'm going to write it. Can communicate with what? We communicate with which program? Server side program. So here I made it listen of what? Two clients can communicate at a time with the two times can communicate with the things. So a number I can write it. Number of clients. I can write number of client side programs. Number of client side programs. So I'm making it next to students. Listen now. I'm going to give you an example here. I'm going to give an example here. I'm going to give. So see that examples. There I'm writing socket object dot listen of. I'm writing two. I'm writing two, indicating that two clients can communicate at a time. Students, up to here, is it clear? Up to listen, these things is clear for you. Can you please confirm it once? So line number 30. Line number 30. Syntax. Okay. Right, Ma. Very good. Line number 30 syntax. Ganesh Verma. Yes, done. So next I'm going to introduce some little another kind of things. Fourth one. It's a really important function. Fourth function is really important function. So I'm going to create accept function. Accept function. Very, very important. This is little confusion will come. Okay. Now, 3 students. See here, accept function is in the diagram also is said you. In the diagram also yesterday which I uploaded. One side what is there? Server machine. Server side program is there. Client side what should I do? You understand me? Client side program, localhost and 888 or something 127.888 you will take it. Just whatever the number you are given, you are giving the same number here also. 888 you are giving here also. Well, now tell me, when my client is connecting to the server, client will pass what? Client is going to take it what? Let me take a small example of my presenter here. So there I am going to take it. Now I will take it something like this. Watch it. When a client is going to communicate with the server, definitely client will connect it to what? Localhost and then use this port number. So there we are using which function? Which function we are using? Connect function we are using. Which side I am using connect function? Client side. Client of what? Connect of what it is taking? DNS and then what? Port number you are writing. Yes sir dot you are saying. What is this? Yes sir. Socket object. At which side? Client side. Socket at server side, bind. Socket at client side, connect. Understand? Huh? Socket at server side, bind. Socket at client side, connect. Simple, ma. I am there in Naresh Institute. What I am? Socket object. Bind with what? Naresh IT. Room number 1. What you came? You are also one socket. You are connecting to me with what? Naresh IT, comma, room number 1. Yes or no? So you are also socket object. I am also socket object. Are you getting my point? Are you getting this clarity first of all? So socket at server side is called bind, ma. And you are yourself making your decision to which machine you are making it to run and at which port we are going to use it. When I am going to use at client side, you are using which function? Connect function. You are passing local host and you are passing what? 888 you are passing. So I hope I'm thinking that you understand my example. Coming to accept. Who will accept? Who will accept? Server side will accept it. See, server side program. Come to the point. Import socket module. Steps for developing server side program. Import socket module. Every server socket, every server side program must run at certain DNS and IP address over. Every server side program must be configured in such a way that how many clients can make a request at a time. Next step number 4, students. Every server side program accept client side program request. Very, very, very important. Now coming to the point back here, accept function. I am writing the syntax. So very important the syntax is. See students, variable one, and first time you are seeing, of course, this is easy for you because you are belongs to my student. Already you are well aware of this type of syntaxes. Socket object dot accept it. Have you seen any time in my class a method is returning two values? Have you seen any time in my class a method is returning two values? Say answer you need, say. Have you seen? No? No? Shall I open the program? In our functions, a function can return how many values? A return statement can return how many values? Two values, three values, four values, five values. Generally, it returns how many values? Only one value. But a function can return how many values? Many values it can return. Return of first value, second value, third value, fourth value. Where I am holding that? Multi-line assignment function can call returning two values or not? A function can return the value in the form of tuple or not? Number of approaches concept. Yes, Asif. Yes, good. Yes, you are remembering that. Number of functions approaches I set. So you are not reading. What can I do? You tell me. If you read now, you will do wonders. If you don't read, what can I do, my dear students? So number of approaches. Maybe that which program that is. So of course, that time only we might come to online, I hope. Functions time only we came up, I hope so. So in the notes, in the program part, so in the functions part, I used to tell. In the functions part, we used to tell to you. In the functions, I used to tell separately. Approach number 1, approach number 3, etc. places we used to teach. See that, you see. This type of examples might be taught. Return L comma B comma A. When I am reading this function, read area of rectangle. It reads how many values? 3 values are returning. 3 values I am holding it. 3 values I am holding it. I can hold here. You are calling this, and this is K, and this is K, and this is K is of which type? K is of which type? Tuple type. Tuple type. You see. It is called a tuple type. Tuple type means I can get it negative indexing, you are retrieving the values. So if you are regular in touch with the subject, I explained this. So maybe the offline student who are sitting in front of me, maybe whether you remembered or not, I don't know. Online students, anybody remembering this? Did I explain this part or not? This type of examples. Yes. So please remember, these approaches are very important. Today also you see. Yes, Asif, correct. So coming to that, now come on. Socket object dot accept. Who is accepting this? Server side socket object accepting the client side request. Once you accept, this is getting two things as left hand side variable. One is called connected with the client. When the client is sending to you, when I accept it indirectly means what? You are connected to whom? Client. Server is accepting the client request. Once if I accept the client request, server is connected to whom? When I accept your request means I am calling you means what? I connected you or not? Suppose Ganesh Verma is asking something. I am calling Ganesh Verma. That means I am accepting and again I am calling him. I am connected to him. Plus I will get its address also. I got two objects. One is called client side object address. Client side object I am getting plus its address also I am getting. Client side object I am getting. That means I am getting the connection with the client side object plus I am getting the address of your client side object. Two things I am getting it. First parameter represent what? Connection with the client. Second one is called what? address of the client at a same time. At a same time. That means client side details are coming in the server side. Are you understanding? This is called, a function is calling return two values. One is a connection from server side plus address of server, address of client, sorry. So I'm writing here, I'm writing here variable one, variable name one represents an object of connection of represents connection object from client, nothing but what? Socket, nothing but socket. Next is called what? Variable name 2 represents what? Address of what? Client side program. That is nothing but socket address. I will show both of them for you, because actually it is very difficult function, because student can't remember the functions concept. Now that's why you are getting some problem. So syntax number 2, variable 1 variable 2 is equal to socket object dot accept. Accept function returns two things. One, I am capturing client side object. One more, I am capturing what? Client side object address. Simple, ma. When you connect it to me, I am asking, I want to send it to you something. Please give me an address, I am saying. You said, okay, sir, you address, you go hold my address, plus get my object at your side also. Get your object at client side object, I am getting it which side? Server side. Plus your address also I am getting. Simple. When somebody send a mail, I am getting their mail address also to me or not? When I say reply, automatically it will go to that address, to that person address, right or not? Like that. So students, is it clear? Is it okay, students? Now example also I will give you. Example also I am giving. I will show you practically also. Connection comma ADDR is equal to some variable name. That is a client object comma client address. Client side object CONN client object comma client address. If you want like that, I write client obj comma client address ADDR is equal to I am writing socket object dot what is this now? Accept. This socket object is which side? Server side object. Accepting what you are getting when I accept the request, to whomever request I am accepting, whose address I am getting, plus whose object also I am getting. At which side? Server side. Simple, ma'am. I send one request for you. In that request I am sending in an envelope, I am posting it. In that envelope, what I said? My address also I kept. One more envelope I kept. What is there inside the envelope? One more envelope which is containing inside of it is containing my address. Right? Why I am keeping inside one more envelope? Because you are going to send something to me as a reply. So when you are giving the reply, where are you keeping your reply? In the inside envelope I kept one more envelope I kept. In that envelope you keep your content and you are sending to me. That is called your client object. And client address, from address also, which I am keeping there. Right? Now I am going to say this function is used for, in the program you are going to see, this function is used for accepting client side program request, and it returns the objects of client side program and its address. Right? I will show both of them to you, nothing to worry. So here you are going to see. This is called what function? Accept function. Next function I am going to discuss, students. Fifth function I am going to say. There are two functions are there which I am using at both the sides. One is called what? RECV. RECV. First, I will talk about the send. Send with what? Send with what? I forget. Very good. Send with decoder, encoder. Decoder, encoder. Encode. Send with encode. Send with encode, which I am going to discuss. Let us. The name itself says. The name itself says. What is that? Or I will take one more function called receive with decode. Receive with decode. First I will, okay, anything is no problem. First I will write RECV. With what? Decode. Okay, students. Once you accept your client request, you have to read the data. You have to read the data. You have to read the data. How do you read the data? Sending a request to the, I have to send, I have to receive the request. How do you receive the request? I will say, you are at which side? You are at which side? Server side. Server side, you got it or not? So I need to go for receiving that request. How do you receive the request? I am going to use it. This function is used for, receiving the client request, client side program request with decode function, So I'm going to say an important thing. With the decode function, you are going to use it. So how you are going to get it? So coming to the point of it, here I am going to write it. This function is used for receiving the client side program request with the decode at which side? Server side program. Right. How do you write it that? Syntax I am going to write it. Tell me, how do you write it? RECV I will write in two places, my dear students. RECV I will write it in two places. Which side I am going to write it RECV? Tell me quickly. RECV I am writing in two places. Which places I am going to write it? One is at the server side. One more is at the client side. When I will write RECV at server side to receive the, when I will write RECV at the server side to receive the client request, when I will write RECV at client side to receive the server side response. Totally out of order. RECV I will write in two places. One is at which side? Server side I can write as well as client side I can write. Client side I will write, server side I will write it. Client side when I will write it? When you are going to receive the server response. When you will write it the server side? When you will write the server side? Whenever I am going to receive the client request. Client request receiving, server response receiving. Server response receiving at which side? Client side. Client side receiving is at which side? Server side. Tell me, what is the syntax number one? Tell me now. What is the syntax number one? You tell me. So, tell me quickly, I want to know. So, I am saying that important discussion I need. Tell me, two syntaxes I will write it. Syntax number one, syntax number two. Two syntaxes I need. Syntax one, what happens? 1 minute, ma'am. I will write syntax number one. Both of them is receive function only. Both of them are receive function only. I want to write. At which side I want to write it? At the client side, what you will do? At server side, what you will do? Tell me now quickly. S dot, that is socket object dot RECV of, actually the socket object is existing at which side? Socket object is existing at which side, ma? Two places it is existing. One is at which side? Client side is there as well as server side. Whenever I write socket here, two meanings will come. Two meanings will come. One is at which side? Server side socket, client side socket. I am writing client socket object dot receive. What you will do? Whenever you are receiving the data, it is coming in the form of what? Bytes it will come. That I am going to use it. Function name is called what? Decode. I am saying it returns the data in the form of bytes. What it will do internally? Decoding will be getting. The decoding function is going to get it in the form of understandable format. I will get the data in the form of what? Value will come. This value can be, I am writing here, variable name I am saying. And one more important point is, this receiving the data is coming in the form of some packet sizes. And it is all called original library. In the beginning days they developed it. That is 1024 size of data it can receive, or double of it, 2048 and 4096. This type of data you need to receive. Once again I am saying client socket object dot recv 1024 2048 4096. This is called what? Packet size. That is the size. You are supposed to receive the data from the client side either with the size of 1024. Suppose if it is 1024, more response is coming from the server, it can be this size. It can be more 4096. It is doubling the value of what? 1024, 2048, like this. This is called what? Packet size, which is visiting over the network. Are you understanding? So this is little, because when you fully immense with the subject, you will understand. By default, it is 1024 means what? 1 MB, na? 1024 bytes is equal to, that means it take first 1 MB of data as a minimum size. Next it will be doubled. Are you following? If I am sending a large amount of data, you need to send how much amount of data you want to receive it. Actually, this is also one limitation, because I don't know how much data I am getting from the server. In the Gmail and all those things, am I worrying about how much size I am getting it? I am receiving any amount of data or not? So it is also one limitation. What is this object called? Client side object dot recv 1024 40896. It is at which side I am writing? At the client side. Okay. Now one important question I want to ask you. Please remember, here client side socket object dot receive. Because why client side object? Client side object already connected with whom? Server side object or not? Am I correct? Now tell me. Now server side I want to get it. Now I am going to write it. At server side I want to get it. At server side I want to receive the value. This is at client side I am going to write it. At server side also I will receive or not. This function is used for receiving the client side program request with decode at server side program, and also used at which side program? At which side program? Client side program for receiving what? Server side program response. Server side program response. RECV function used in two places. At one thing is where used at which side? Server side program I can use it. Also used at which side program? Server side program also I can use. Clear or confused? I am using in two places. At your side, my response you want to receive. At my side, I want to receive your response. Both the sides response is important, receiving. Tell me, at the server side, what you are writing? Client side, what you are writing? Client side object dot receive. Because my client side object connected with whom? Server. Okay, at server side, what are you writing? Can anybody can say? VAR name is equal to what is this now? Here you are supposed to be very much intelligent. Very much intelligent. I already got it. Here you see. Socket object dot accept it. Client address plus client object also got it or not? With respect to that object only we need to receive. With respect to that object only I need to receive. So how do you write that code here? I will write it. Client object dot. It's a data I want to get it. At which side I am writing? RECV. Same to same sentence I will write it. At which side I am writing? Server side I am writing. That matters a lot. RECV. At which side I am writing? At the server side I am writing. This line I am writing at the server side. I hope you are understanding this. At client side, you are getting it. At the server side also you are getting it. Client object dot RECV 102420484096 decode. At server side you are understanding. I hope you are understanding this. In the program, I will use it. If you want, I will take an example in the very shortly after completion of it. Very shortly, I will give a very short example where you can understand very quickly. Next part of the course, I want to start. Same thing, I will say what? Send function, I will use it. Very shortly, it is completing. Now I want to use what function? Send. I will use a send function, I will use it. Send, I want to use it. I want to use a send. How do you do that send function here? Very, very easy, students. Sixth function. 6. Send. Send with what? Encode. Send with encode. Tell me, which place you will send? This function is used for sending. Which places I am sending? You used for sending. Client side program request. Client request data. Request data to which side program? Server side program. And server side program sends response to which side program? Client side program. I hope you are understanding. This function is used for sending client side program request. Client request data to the server side program, and server side program send response to where? Client side program. Two places send only. What is the syntax? Tell me, what is the syntax? I am going to say. Come on. What is this? Socket object. Which socket object? Which object? Client socket object dot send of 102420484096. These are all called what? Sizes of my data. Dot what? Encode. Well, okay. You are sending it. Nice. From which object? Client side object. From which side you are writing? I am writing at which side? Which side program, guys? Client side program. At a server side, what are you writing? At a server side also, what are you writing? Server side also I am writing the same statement. See, here you see client object. Here also same. Client object is nothing but a client side object. What is the client side object in the server? What is the client side object in the server? Whenever you accept it, client object coming or not? That object dot send. This object dot send. Here I will write it. Here I am writing client object. I will write it. Client object I am writing. Client obj I am writing. Dot send I am saying. Client obj dot send. Client obj is nothing but this multiple Values are written. Client object is an object at which side? Server side. Client object dot send 10242048 encode at which side? Server side. Simply you can forget this programming if you don't understand, because it is not in use nowadays. It is not in use. Like a destructor, I said it is not necessary to write it. Of course, I am not saying that forget. If you feel that it is more burden for you, there is no use, because Django is there nowadays as a web framework. We are using that. Java was already outdated this programming 10 years back only. Even in Python also this is outdated. But sometimes or the other we are using in telecommunication, this type of thing. Telecommunication level, this is important. That's why don't leave it when you don't understand. Try to understand. This is called what? Send. I'm not saying that to leave it, but try to understand, because this is, I'm giving client side socket object purely at client side. Client object at server is equal to server side program. You are getting it. Last function I am going to take. Connect function you take it. Connect. What is this function is? Purely at the client side. This program is used for, come on fast, obtaining connection, is used for obtaining connection from which side program? Server side program. Server side program. At which side? From server side program at client side program. At which side program? Client side program. At client side program. This program is used for obtaining connection from which side program? Server side program. At which side program? Client side program. Sir, how it is the syntax? Syntax is, tell me, socket object dot connect. Socket object dot connect. What will pass in the tuple format? Come on. DNS, comma what? Port number. Port number. Yes. So you can say this one like this also you can say. Or you can say this one, or you can say connect of what, IP address. So I'm saying that IP address, comma what? Port number. This is what I'm going to take up. Did you understand this? Now, example in the program you can get it. After, if you want example, I can write here. Directly I can write. Example I can write it. Say that what is this now? Yes dot connect. What is yes? Socket object. Yes is a socket object. What will pass? Local host, comma 888. You can also say it as what, or you can say it as what? Yes dot connect of, what is this now? 127.0.0.1, comma 8888. So done. So because of this, client got a connection from where? Server side program. Now let us start working on the program. First start working on the program. So up to here I just mentioned the library and we are going to see the program. So students, did you understand this connect function and encode and receive? I hope you understand. Now we are going to use the coding now. So confirm it. Those who understand, you confirm that it is understandable. Now I am going to introduce the concept for programming now. So let us go to the coding now. So I am writing a small code here. Look at that. Program for server side program I am going to introduce. Server side operations. Small example. Server side operations. First thing is what? Come on. Import socket. Import a socket. Steps I will open. Steps for developing which side program? Server side program. First one is what? Every server side program must run at certain port number and then what? Running. What I will do immediately? Create an object of socket. How do you create? S is equal to socket dot socket of. Socket dot socket of. Print what? Print immediately after that S dot bind of. S dot bind of. Come on. What is this now? Localhost, comma what? 888. You take your own number, no problem, students. So I'm writing inside of the tuple format. Tuple format, I wrote it. Well, now I'm writing print of. Tell me. Come on, guys. Come on. Don't test. Don't wait. Server side program is ready to accept client side request, client side program ready to accept client side program request. Well, now before that I will configure also s dot listen of what? 2. S dot listen of 2. Socket object creation, binding with the socket object, listen of 2. Server side program is ready to accept any client side program request. Right. See, ma'am, it is Ranjan, that only I am saying, ma'am. It is 4-digit number. I will pass 10,000 also, no problem. It is not like that. I already recommended this. Don't use 2 digits or 3 digits or something. Use maximum number of digits. Listen, ma. Listen. So, coming to the point of it, some number you pass it. Right? Localhost. See carefully. Localhost. Ranjan, did you understand that? So, any number you pass it. Not only 4-digit number, you pass anything. Suppose if your system is not connected to internet, you can pass even 22 also. Even 23 also, no problem. Anything you can pass it. You can pass anything. 9999, I am passing it. Right. Now you see, just save it. Server1.py. Server1.py. Just I am saying that. Save it. Go to that equivalent. First one small preliminary example I am showing. So, network programming. So, networks are just networking, or just let it be network. Inside of it, I will save my program. What is my program name? Server1.py. Server1.py. Go to the CMD, go to this location of 4 p.m. Say networking. Coming to this now. Be careful, students. To run my network program, how many programs I am writing in networking? 2. So far we did what? Only one program we are using and running it. But here 2. 2 means how many systems required? Definitely 2 systems are required. 2 systems are required. 2 systems are nothing but 2 command prompts. 2 systems are nothing but 2 command prompts. I will open another command prompt. How do you run this program in your system? Open 2 command prompts. CD, out of that, something like in CD, KVR, Python, 4 p.m. CD networking. Yes, sir. You see, students, you see here in this case, I'm just going to give you a scenario here. Yes, sir. Networking. Now you go for 2 things. I am using the above one. This is called a server prompt. This is called a client prompt. The result is going to exchange between these 2 places. It is nothing but 2 missions. 2 missions are interconnected to each other. If we go to your lab, computer science lab in your college days, one place, all missions are connected to one other mission. In one mission, I can type my server-side program, and other missions where people are sitting, you can take it them as what? Client-side missions. I hope you are understanding this approach, students. So first command prompt, I will take it. This is for server, like an intranet, Ranjan. Like an intranet, that is intranet. py. What is my program name? Server1.py. See the message. Server side program is ready to accept client side program request. Okay, now, so instead of writing such a big sentence, I will write like this. SSP and a server side program is, because it is coming in next line now, that's why. Server side program is ready to accept any CSP request. CSP and a client side program request. Just I am running it. It is just showing its readiness and I am closing it immediately. Are you following? It is ready, but it is closing. Accepting means what? It is like a call center. It is like a call center. Call center is opened 12 hours open, 12 hours closing. 24/7 it is running or not? Now what you will do? My server side program also should run 24 hours or not? Are you getting? How do you make your server side program to run 24 hours? I forget my logic. So definitely online students will answer my question. Offline students also answer my question. Many times we did in our class. So my server side program has to run infinitely. I'm using while, very good. While loop, Neeraja, very good, ma. So while loop, yes. So while loop, Brahmani, correct, ma, correct. So Irfan, all of you. While true. Say that. Already we did. Now I will just write while true. Pass I will say. Don't worry. Now you see. Execute. Now you see. Server side program is ready to accept. My cursor is you see. Continuously it is waiting. Tomorrow if I come by switch on the machine, still it is running. Because it is entering to what? Infinite while loop, right or not? Very good. Go to, now inside of it you go. What you do inside of the while loop? What you will do? Accept what? Client request. Come on, how do you accept it? Server side socket update. What is the server side socket update? All of you say. Yes, dot accept. Returns what, ma? Returns what? Client socket, comma, client address, ADDR. I will show you. Actually, I will print it. Client, I will say, client socket object is equal to, comma, type of client socket, SOCK. Right? Good. Client socket. I will take one more. What is this now? Client socket address. I will print address. Address means I will print its address. Type you need not to find out. Address you want to find and type also you want to find out. You can take both of them. Type is equal to. Both I will print it. Comma. What is that? What is this now? ADDR. Client ADDR. Comma what? Client ADDR. Address is printed. First address type. Okay. First I will write this one. Before that you write dot, first of all, dot format of, what is this? Client ADDR, comma, type of this one. I hope format is over. This one is over. And don't send anything. This is only I am printing this message. For this I am showing this information. This will come when the client send a request. This information will come when client make a request. Otherwise, server will not print now. Save this code immediately. Run this code. Go to this place. Server is ready. I will cut it. Now see. Ready. It is enter into while loop, but it is not printing what? Not printing the request update or server update, because no client connected now. I will write which program now. Server side prompt is ready. Server side prompt is ready. Above one I am talking about this one. Now client side also I want to write it. Now I will go to the another Python program here, right? Take care, because I am attempting to make you to understand this program easy way, but how carefully you are understanding, I don't know. Program for which side operations? Client side operations. For example, tell me client1.py, client1.py socket object created here also. Now you say yes dot what? Connect to whom? Already you binded with the local host. What is my port number? 999. What is the difference between this yes and the previous yes? What is this yes? Is binded with this. It is stable there. It is a CM. And what is this? Citizen of the city, citizen of the state, connected with the CM. Are you getting? Now I will say, what is this? Importing, creating an object, connecting. Students in the online, did you understand, students? Did you understand this mechanism? All of you. Now I will do what? Connected. Now I need to send what? Send a request. Shall I send the request? Okay, sir, send. How do you send? Sample. Send a request. Connection is done. Creating a socket object. Import. Send a request. How do you send, sir? Yes, sir, dot send. What is yes, ma? What is yes? Please look at send. Client side socket object dot send. At which side? Client side program. See, yes is called client side socket dot send of, I'm saying hello server dot come on, encode of hello server dot what? Encode. What is this hello server? String data. That data I'm encoding and sending. Are you able to follow? Encode is a function present inside of where? String data. You are encoding and sending. Into which format it is encoded? Into bytes. And sending. Once you send, where it is straightforward goes to while loop, and then accepting, and then what? Printing the client side object socket. Same socket. Socket means whose type is coming? This yes only will come and place. This yes only will come and place here. Socket address. Whose address also will come. Let us print it and execute once. You will come to know. Save this code. Ma? Encode. Okay. Encode, I will do it. Yeah. Come on now. Come to this place. Already server is ready, sir. Now go to this place. I'm saying py client.py. See that? What is it? Yeah, I forget. Client is taking what? Connect function. You just see, my dear students, connect function. Connect function is taking in the form of tuple or not? Tuple format you need to pass it. Tuple format. You have to pass it into tuple format. You should pass in tuple format. You have to keep in always in the mind. Yes, students, please go there and try to pass it in the form of tuple. Say immediately print CSP got connection. CSP got connection from where? SSP. Well, save this code, execute. See, SSP always continuously ready. Now see, my dear students, be careful. See and up. Keep your two eyes. One eye on the above, one more eye in the below command prompt. See, my dear students, all of you should understand. CSP got a connection from SSP. The moment when you send a request, it goes to this place. SSP ready to accept any CSP. Client socket object. class socket dot what? Socket. That means client side socket only coming at which side? Server side. I'm calling you. That means I connected you. I call it. What is the address of it? In the same mission only client side program is also running. What is the type of it? What is the type of the class? Which one? Tuple. Because I'm sending in the tuple format or not? Yes, sir. What is the object of that one? Socket object. Socket object, first one is important. This is of which type? Socket. It which side it is socket is available? Client side this is available. Client side it is available. This yes is available in the server side only. Simple, your data I am accessing from my side by calling you. Understand? Now print it. Now I want to print your data. How I will print your data? Tell me. How I will print your data? How I will print your data? I am expecting from you people, students. We don't say how it is. In my server, what is the name of the client? In my server side, what is the name of the client? Client object, I got it. In which place? Client socket. That is an object. Client socket SOCK dot RECV of 1024 received in which format? Bytes. And decode into what? Into our understandable format. It is coming in the form of bytes, decoding in the form of str. Which data? CS is equal to client data, C data. Client data, say, come on, client data at a server. Client data at a server is equal to which data? C data. How beautiful it is. C data. Save this code. Which side I am writing this code? Which side I am writing this code? Server side. Save this now. Client side, what are you sending? Hello server, I am from client. This is a message coming from where? From which side? Client side. This is a message coming from client side. Server side is accepting your object. From that object dot receive, and I am printing at this place. Save this code. Save this code. Since I modified my server, I will run my server once again. Close this command prompt. Go to the command prompt once again. See, AVR Python 4 PM. Say networking. Now see, run py. What is this now? Server1.py. SSP is ready to accept any client-side program request. Now see, my dear students, I am using at this place. Yes, sir. Now you see, I say client-side program. All of you must observe it with the two eyes. One eye, the moment when I press enter key here, you observe on the top of it. What is coming? Pressing enter key. All of you should observe on the above side. See that socket object at which one? The moment when you run it, automatically getting the server side, getting client side object whose address I am getting. And see, client data at server is what? Hello server. From where it is coming? Client side. Client side at which side? Server side. And server also will say, I am fine. How are you, client? It is saying. First one small message I send. So here I did not write any code further to send the data to which side? Client side. So can I send the data to server side to client side? Send, sir. Send. Students up to here, are you okay? Are you okay? Still, Ranjan, I will give you wonderful program. One more program I am going to give. Tell me. Write the data from server, boss. How do I write it? Write client socket dot Through that only you write it. Client socket dot what? Send. Socket data, say S data. S dot. What is that? Send of what? Hello client. Hello client. Dot what? Encode. Who is sending? Server is sending. To whom? Yes. Execute. Careful. Cancel this. Close this. Because we need to close that. Otherwise it is not coming out of it. E colon. KVR. Python here. I say 4 p.m. CD. Networking. So, see this now. PY. PY. What is this now? Server 1.py. SSP. Ready to accept any CSP request. Now say what? I'm going to give you client side. Be careful, students. Both the sides, please observe it. I'm saying open YESMA, CSP, Ranjan. See below prompt is that only. Above prompt is server. Observe my mouse pointer. Below prompt. PY client dot. Now see that. What is coming, students? So something is happening there. Was disallowed because socket object is okay. Very good. So send. So win error supplied. Send to call. Okay. 1 minute. Close this part. Say this is called what? Client socket dot. To that you send it. Once again, try to KVR Python 4 p.m. Say CD networking. This is one prompt. Make it one more. So E colon CD, same thing. Python 4 p.m. Fine. CD networking students. Well, now come down to this place. Now I'm going to say, be careful. Make your server side program ready. PY server 1.py. Server side program is ready. Now say PY client 1.py. See students, I did not. Okay. Hello server. I did not get this side. Okay. Why I did not get it this side? Because in the client side, you did not write receiving message, no? Client side you send, but you did not write which message. Shall I receive it? Did you understand this code here? Here I should write what? Receiving code. How do you receive? Yes dot recv. RECV 1024 dot what? Decode. Excellent. Which data this is? Yes data. Yes data means server data. Server data is equal to, what is this? Okay, comma, you say yes data. First I want to see this result. Okay, sir, start once again. Let it be. Only server is coming. Once again you run it. It is running 24 hours. Make your client ready once again. Okay, sir, see all of you. Now see, say, run it. See that. The client data at server. Hello server. You see, server data is called what? Hello client. I don't know whether you are enjoying this or not. I hope you are understanding this. Are you okay? Now you'll write one more coding. Client will send a value to the server. Server will square it and send the value back. Shall I write that program? Listen students, all of you. I am sending a a value from the client side to the server side. Server side program will square it and sending the result back to the client. Understand? So I am a server, you are a client. What I will do? I will take your number, I will square it, I will send it to you. Shall I do that example? Yes, students. Let me go to this. This is a sample output, sample program. Now I will do what? Program for, be careful, ma. Try to understand quickly. This program, this is server side program. This is server side program. Accept client value and square it and send back. And send back. Well, send back. Okay, na? Send back. Okay, I forget, please. Import. I forget. Socket. Come on, students. S is equal to socket dot socket. Socket dot socket. Okay. Next, what should I do? Bind it. S dot bind. S dot bind. You pass it in the form of a tuple. Localhost, comma, 8888. You pass your vehicle number. Some number you pass it. Something, your lucky number or something. Okay, sir. Next, S dot listen. S dot list, en. Listen of what? 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you like. Next, you make SSP. SSP is ready to accept any CSP request. Ready to accept any request. SSP is ready to accept any CSP request. Well, happy. While what? True. Always same sample statements. Tell me. CS comma and a client side socket comma CA client side address. CS comma CA. What is that? Yes or dot. This is one of the very popular statement, students. Very, very important statement. This is accept. Okay. I am bringing what? Client side object in this place. Now tell me. Okay, accepted. Get the client data. Receive. I am writing receive. Receive which data? I am writing. Receive which data? Client side data. How do you receive the client side data? C data is equal to CA dot RECV 1024 dot decode. Which type it is coming by default? STR. STR. I am going to convert into which type? Float type. Typecasting. Beautiful. I am writing client data at a server. Client data at a server is equal to comma what? C data. Okay. Process. Process client request. Process client request. How do you process, sir? RES is equal to C data. C data star 2. Square it. Star 2. Send which data? Server data. Send server response. From where? From which side program? Client side program. From client side program. How do you send it? CS dot. Come on. Send of what? RES. RES is what type actually? Float type. Float type. I have to convert into which type? STR of RES dot what? Encode. What a beautiful code this is. Encode. Are you getting? Encode. Super. Not like that, Ranjan. STR of RES. Convert your result into RES of STR. In STR, there is an encode. Decode is there in the CA dot this one is going to return decode. Decode. Now I am going to say this one. This will give you bytes format. Whenever I decode it, it is coming into string, converting into float. Float result, I got it. Convert into str. Why should I convert into str? Because the data which is a float converting into str, say what immediately? Decode and encode present into where? String str. Easy, easy. So send it. Send it. After that, what should I do? Finished. Client side program finished or not? Now it is called what? While true, continuously accepting. Save, sir, this one. What is my program? What is my program? Server square. This is a server square program. .py. .py. Save. Beautiful code. Now I will write it which side? Client program I will write it. Let me write quickly. Let me write quickly. I will copy some small code. Suitable code I will take it. Program. Client side program I will write it. Client side program. Client side program. Accept the value from keyboard, comma, send to server and get its square. Get its square. Who is doing the square? Server is doing. Who is sending the value? Client. Well, come on. I got it socket. So what is my code? Client square. Client square. Socket. Yes, ma, no problem. Can we use different client objects other than? No problem. Something like Irfan. Irfan is equal to. Irfan is equal to. Irfan is equal to. Yes. Irfan is equal to. Irfan dot client. Irfan dot client. Say. Done. What is my port number previously? What is my port number previously? 888. 888. Client side also I must have what? 8888. Irfan dot. Done. Take it your own thing. Irfan got a connection from SSP. Say what? Accept the value. Accept the value from where? Keyboard. How do I get it, sir? N is equal to input of what? Enter a number. Enter a number. Okay. Why I am not converting here? When it goes to the server, I am receiving the data. I am converting the data into float type now. So I need not to send in the form of what? Need not to convert to float. Now send it to the server. Send. How do you do that? Irfan dot. What is that? Send. N dot decode. What is N? String type. Dot decode. Well, sending. Once it sends, it goes to the server. Server will receive it, accept it, get its data, square it. I am getting the bad data back to program. What is this now? Send. Accept the value from keyboard and send. Now what? What is this? CSP receives the result from. Receives the result from where? SSP. Receives. Receives the result from where? SSP. How do you do that now? Come on, fast. Irfan dot what? RECV of 1024 dot decode. Getting into what? Yes, data. Okay. Print of what is this? Result from server. Result from server is equal to what? Yes, data. What a beautiful example. Save it. Client square, save it. Yes. Come on to the command prompt. Both the command prompts you verify. Okay, anyhow, this is there. Anyhow, you go to the server side. Still it is running now. I will cancel this. So it won't cancel automatically. I will close this. Go to the once again CMD. See, this is going to be E colon. So caviar, Python, 4 p.m. CD networking. Say PY. Say client square, server square, server square dot py. SSP is ready to accept anything. Go to this other prompt. Yes, sir. Please look at both the sides, my dear students. Both the sides. Keep one eye on the upper part. Keep one more eye on the client part. PY, server, client server. Yes, sir. What is happening? CA Nadi. A tuple object has no attribute RECV. What is it? Which side that is? Which side? Huh? Line? Okay. But you did not say that. Why? Sir will get a want to enjoy. Want to enjoy? Okay. Anyhow, students, no problem. Just I'm saying that. Okay. So now it is written. Client side object you need, right? Okay, ready. Now go to the client side also. Okay, now let it be connecting to that. Now say PY, which side? Client square. Enter the client got a connection. Observe it. I say 5. Please observe one eye on the top and one eye below. One eye on the below. What happens again? STR object has no attribute. Huh? Yeah, fine. As a dot. Client side I need to go. Client side. Encode this is. So encode. Correct? Encode and then what? Decode. Correct. So students, so you did not say that errors to me. Why? It is okay now here. Okay. This side okay. So okay, Rocky you said okay. You said okay. Say server side once again. Server side program is running. Go to the client side program. Once again, you run it. See, observe it carefully. Now see, got it. Number 5, see the result. See, my dear students, client data at server 5. Result from server is 25.0. Next, once again, I will say 16 at server side, 16 at client side. Are you getting this? So this is called which side program? Client and server side programs. Easy or difficult? Easy or difficult? Dead easy. Nothing is there. But only thing is we need to read. Only thing is we need. But only what are the limitations on this coding? Why we don't use in our application development very rigorously? Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. Yes. Because we are using command prompt, not running in browser. First limitation. Second limitation is only one-to-one program. This is not one-to-many. Are you understanding? Only we are supposed to configure in the program. Listen 2, listen 3, listen 4 like that. These are all called what? Limitations of this traditional network programming. As on today, Django says what? One server-side application can provide hundreds and thousands and millions of clients. There is no such restriction. It is called what? One-to-one program only it is running. Are you understanding? So this is the small limitation of this coding. You can understand very practically. This is called one-to-one. One client to one server. But in our present internet application contains what? One server-side application can provide responses to thousands and millions of people or not. That's why this is not that much in demand. But I said in the beginning only networking I am going to cover. I'm going to explain that because we are using in telecommunication projects somewhere else or the other. This is useful to you. That's why socket module is covered. Okay, na? Fine. So we will be stopping that. And tomorrow, there is tomorrow holiday. As I said, it's on account of Ramjan, Institute has given a holiday. So to Monday, Wednesday, I will start the string handling part 2. I will explain. So string handling part 2. Explained, huh? Not explained. I will explain that. And I'll explain generators also. Generator, iterator, decorator concept is small topics are there. Wednesday, if it is completing, okay, Wednesday it won't complete. Thursday will be the last. Thursday I will take. Actually, Wednesday I want to keep it last, but tomorrow holiday is there. That's why I want to make it on Thursday. I will make it the last. Okay, na? So don't miss the class on that day. Right? Right, ma. Definitely when Django will start, you say them, you ask them. If they start that, I will go for it. Okay? Right. So coming to the point back. So yes, ma, Rocky. So I'm going to stop my class. We will meet on Wednesday. Wednesday we will meet for what? String part 2. Small topic. I will deal with it. Okay, don't miss it. Right, ma, Ganesh. So certificate I am not going to provide. You contact the institute people, they will provide it. Right? Yes, ma, definitely I will give the placement number. Definitely I will give placement number. I will Ramya, I will give you, ma. I will give you. Wednesday compulsory I will give you. Okay, na? Compulsory I will give you. Right. So Adarsh. So we don't have a method overloading. Definitely I told in the functions only. Function overloading is not there in Python. Even in the polymorphism also is said. So normalization concept is in the database. DBMS level you will get academically normalization concept. Okay, na? So Monday class, Wednesday class, we will go for, yes, scripting nothing, ma. Scripting nothing. Scripting is nothing but writing 1 or 2 lines of code is called scripting. Writing bigger lines of code is called what? Program we can call. So Ganesh Verma. So don't think Ranjan. Sir, one class separately to drop out students, which is a huge gap after BTech. Okay. So for that I need to talk about it. So I give my number to you now. If any such doubts are there, please contact me. I will go for it. Right. Sandhya. Yes, ma. What is that? Courses of Google Classroom Drive. It will be there, ma. It will be there. It is a lifetime access for you. As long as these classes will be continued, that will be there. Google Classroom Drive will not go anywhere. Please make your notes to be downloaded only. So after this is over, I will try to keep this zip files, 4 or 5 zip files. I will keep it. You try to unzip it. I'll keep it because the total notes is not going to upload at once. So that's why I will keep 4 or 5 zip files and try to unzip it if possible, because cloud is not allowing to store all of them at a time. Okay. So I'll stop the class. We will go for on yes, ma, Brahmani. Okay. So I'm giving my number now. So you are there in my network always. Any doubts are there, you can welcome. Right? Ranjan, no problem. I will send it. I will send it to you. No problem. Okay? I'll stop the class. Thank you. We will meet on Wednesday. Right, ma. Definitely. I will keep it in the Google Drive class, ma. All of you download. Renuka, all of you. Brahmani, Ranjan, Rocky, all of you can download it. Okay? Thank you. Good day. Wednesday we will meet at 4 p.m. Good day. Okay, na?